So hi, I'm Guda, and I'm here to show you the Alteration Orb recipe. This is actually the most commonly used recipe in the entire game. You do it by basically selling any item that has rolled a mod, and you get Alteration shards back. It is actually a recipe. Don't get me wrong. There are ways of overriding it. If an item has linked up red, green, and blue sockets, that will override it. If you sell a whole bunch of items, that will also override it. Sometimes, like there's a bunch of strange cases, like if you sell like rares with the same name, for instance, that'll give you chance orbs or alchemy orbs back. Also, if the item has 6 sockets on it, that'll give you 7 jewelers, and if it has 6 linked sockets, that will give you a divine orb. But only nobody should be crazy enough to vendor a 6 link. That's just wasteful. I am wasteful. There is another thing, like this helmet, for instance, gives alchemy shards back, and that's because some mods that are rolled into items give back alchemy shards, like rarity, quantity, and chaos resistance, and then there's plus to gem levels of all types of sorts. There's a couple of mods that give alch shards, but the reason why the Alteration shard recipe is important is for ambiguous items like this Dragonbane axe. And I'll kind of explain why. It's a bit complex why it's ambiguous. But, you know, this sword, for instance, sells for an orb of augmentation. And the reason why it does is that it has 3 prefixes and 3 suffixes. So it has increased physical damage, which I'm going to refer to as IPD from now on. So it has IPD, IPD inaccuracy, elemental damage with weapons, attack speed, stun threshold reduction, and stun duration. So that's 6 stats, 3 prefixes, 3 suffixes. It's done. I can't exalt it. I can try, doesn't work. Failed to apply. Yeah. But, you know, this axe could have rolled 6 stats. It could have rolled IPD, IPD inaccuracy, lightning damage, attack speed, lightning resistance, and also accuracy. It's possible for that to happen because the rolls on accuracy for IPD is low enough that if I had that roll along with the accuracy roll, like the lowest end one, it's possible to get like 21 accuracy, but it's also possible to get 156 IPD with that combination of mods. So it could have rolled 6 stats, but it doesn't because it sells for Alteration shards. So now the problem is that I don't know whether this axe has rolled a prefix or a suffix. It's hard to tell, but I can actually figure that out with the Alteration shard recipe. So I can sell for Alteration shards, and then I can kind of resolve using this combination, or this whole spreadsheet, so I can kind of figure out a whole bunch of combinations of stats it could have rolled and resolve it by figuring out a combination of stats that would also sell for this many Alteration shards that would also give the same stats that this item has rolled. And yeah, and if it happens to have an open prefix, I might want to exalt it. If it doesn't have an open prefix, I don't. And that's really what the whole recipe's for. Not really useful for most cases, but you know, it's there. There is another way to figure it out, and that's by using a divine orb on it. But divine orbs are one of the rarest orbs in the game, and simply using a divine orb to figure out if you want to exalt something is pretty silly, I think. So, yeah, I'm good, and I'll see you next time.